I'm your host, SERG VICENTE, and this is episode 306 of the show. I keep bringing heat for y'all, I'm telling you. And today, I am so honored to have this dude on. This dude, in my opinion, is not just your average fighter. This dude is one of those guys that there's a few dudes who do this thing called superstardom, and you know what? He actually has it. He's building to it, and this dude is not only the best fighter currently in Bellator, he's arguably the greatest fighter in Bellator history. Forget Bellator, he might be the best fighter in all the land. UFC, one F, who gives a damn? We got the man, the myth, the legend. We talking about AJ Mckee. AJ, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yo, first and foremost, thank you for joining me on the Fight Podcast, man. And dude, congratulations. What an amazing, Grand Prix experience. You had the culmination right here in LA. Bro, talk to me, man. How was that, winning that title, the biggest win, the biggest fight in your career right here in LA?
It was awesome. It was phenomenal. Being able to do all that out here in LA in my home backyard. LA ain't had no championships this year, so it was nice to go ahead and bring one home. You know what I mean? But man, it was fun. I put the city on my back, and I ran with it. I knew what I had to do, and I went in there, and I didn't think it was going to come that soon, but it happened. It happened in the first, which was dope. And, man, just count my blessings,
Well, yo, let me ask you this, man, because in that fight, again, this is for people who don't know, first of all, they must be sitting under a rock, but PITBULL Fury, everyone thinks has been, and he is known as the best fighter in Bellator history. He's tough, he's durable. So leading up to that fight, man, what did you think that you can pretty much exploit from him?
I just knew I was faster, I was stronger, and he had never fought anybody with my style before. And I think that's a big part, where a lot of guys, you know what to study and what to look for in certain opponents. Myself being such a unorthodox opponent, people don't know what to train for. You know what I mean? You don't know if I'm going to come out, if I'm going to wrestle, if I'm going to take you down, if I'm going to play the ground game, if I'm going to let you work your ground or top game. You know what I mean? You never really know. So it's just being comfortable wherever you're at. And he didn't know what to expect. And I think I got in his head a little bit. Okay, maybe a lot of it.
A lot of it. I'm about to say.
But that was the fun part, you know what I mean? That's
when you picked up his belt, man, my man, that hurt his heart, bro. You didn't have to do that to him.
But I knew what that was gonna do. I knew as mad as he was, and he was already getting emotional, you know what I mean? Let me just push it and make sure he's all the way there 100. So when I grabbed that belt, you know what I mean? Because I saw him walk over to try to grab it, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm grabbing the belt. So I grabbed the belt, and he went up. He didn't like that too much. Like, not at all, actually.
Oh, bro, it was such an epic moment because a lot of people think about, and here's the thing, I want to bring these comparisons up because I don't think people are talking about them enough, because I have my opinion on who would whoop whose ass, and I want to make sure people would actually say it out loud. I want to hear it from your mouth. So people always love comparing 2015 McGregor and his come up to AJ and what he's doing. So let's bring this down. And I've said it before. I said it on my show earlier. You got McGregor. He had Dennis Seaver, Chad Mendez. Then you had the Aldo fight. Campos, Georgie. You had Caldwell, and then you have obviously PITBULL. If we compare and contrast them, if we're really looking at it, Caldwell, former champion, actual badass, who's still done it. Georgie has never been touched before in that way, especially that fast. Actually, nobody's really been touched that fast, which is crazy. And then on the other side, Dennis Seaver, kind of washed.
Yeah.
Chad Mendez took the fight on 10 days notice. Jose Aldo, Jose Aldo, you got touched. Shit happens. I understand. Yeah. So if we're looking at those, and I want you to say it, I want to hearing those three guys versus the three guys you fought, level of competition, where do you put them?
It wouldn't have made a difference. I'd have fun with all them boys. Like, for real. them some of the greatest fighters. You know what I mean? I grew up watching all of them. I've been watching them for a long time. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's the new wave, the new era. Like I'm coming over. I'm taking over everything.
So your style, you're one of those guys that came up with the older generation was everybody had a style. Striker. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I'm a wrestler. You're somebody who's come up with all of them. And you're seeing the development because you've had the benefit of having all of your fights in one organization. And they've given you fights that made sense. You know what I'm saying? And you've built it. And all of a sudden, it's like this homegrown dude that now he's the fucking king of the planet, right? What has that benefit been for you in the Bellator aspect of it? Also, just the well-roundedness, how like the game is developed for yourself.
Well, I see it as Bellator. They had a diamond in the rough, but they didn't know how big the diamond was. And
they're pushing Pico.
Hey, Pico's my boy. He's got great accolades. You know what I mean? He's doing
He does.
a lot, and he's a father now. Like my boy.
Salute to that man.
Yeah, off top. So like he's Pico. That boy, that's the hardest worker I know. He's destined for greatness. You know what I mean?
Facts. Facts.
I think it's our entire all of our friends, dude, that we grew up with. You know what I mean? Joey Davis, Zaire Valencia, Jeremy, Justin Thomas, Anthony Valencia, like Cato, like everybody, like all the little wrestlers. Like we got a younger cat in our gym named Joe. Joe, 15. Like when we were kids, he was that baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now he's at 15 getting into mixed martial arts. Like another 18-year-old world champ. Like definitely, you know what I mean? So we're just,
it makes a difference.
Yeah, it makes a difference when you're in that gym all day and you grind constantly.
Facts. Well, let me ask you this. You are somebody that I've said it, I think has all the potential to be a superstar, the biggest face, literally the face of MMA. You got everything. You got the look, you got the skills, and now you got the resume to back it up. What do we have to do to get you past for the culture? Because that's one of those things that we really look at it. It's why don't we have enough of us? People love Tank Davis, right? The culture loves Tank. You fought better people in your career than Tank Davis has. Tank Davis ain't fought nobody. Let's just keep it a buck. What is the difference? Why aren't black folks coming over to MMA in the same way they look at boxing?
I would say it's just the difference in the sport. It's the sport versus entertainment. The good thing is mixed martial arts is entertaining as hell. You know what I mean? So we got the entertainment aspect on lock. Now making it a sport, that's a different story. But it's such a new sport that people don't really know what, they just know what they see. They know what they like. You know what I mean?
Right.
They haven't really been exposed to the entire sport yet in a sense. So just being able to show them who you are, not only within the cage, but outside of the cage, of how good of a person you are. I think that's what's going to be able to really set me aside. And once people realize kind of what I'm trying to do all together and the plan, I think they'll really appreciate me. They'll like me, and they'll realize I'm a people's champ. You know what I mean? I'm for the people, and that's the big picture.
Yeah. Well, being a people's champ, being somebody like you said for the culture, you're here and everything, and you were able to win in LA, in your backyard. What did that mean to you to be able to, like you said, bring us a chip? LA didn't have a champion this year. Lakers got bounced in the first round. Dodgers, who knows what they're doing? Fam, like, how was that for you in that moment?
It was dope, man. It's for me being in those red walls for my father and I to fight previously on the same card within those red walls. Like just so much greatness, I feel like in our legacy, in our family, and then just many others that have already made it to that great status and level to where you can go in there and you can read their names on them red walls. Like, so for us to be able to do what we're doing, and then like me win my first world title there, and then potentially, hey, we could run it back and have another world title come back to LA. Like for me, I'm trying to get my name up on them red walls one day or something. You know what I mean? Like it's establishing that level of just greatness to be able to look ahead and visualize yourself being like a person that inspires others.
Mm-hmm. So do you actually, is that something that you carry on your back? Like the understanding and knowing that someone's like, people are watching you, because I know Charles Barkley is famously says, hey, I ain't a role model. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not a role model. You know what I'm saying? So for yourself, is that something, because now, especially in MMA, man, dude, young dude, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing. Like, do you carry that with you?
Definitely. I have to a little bit, just because all the guys in the gym, you know what I mean? I got a bunch of young guys in the gym that look up to me and that are like gonna follow what I do. You know what I mean? I really had to take heed to that and take that in. Like, if they see you doing something, they feel like it's okay for them to do it too. So it's like, you just gotta be able to realize that, play your role right, and man, help those around you eat. You know what I mean? If one eats, they all eat. So
Right.
you know, I'm back in the gym already. Like, gotta show them no days off. Like, even though you're world champ, like, I'm not gonna give somebody else time to get better, to level up on me. Like, I'm gonna come back and level up on them, maybe 2, 3, 4 more levels ahead. And that's how you get ahead. You gotta stay on the grind.
So I'm glad you talked about that. Building up, like I said, what's the difference? You have now, you're a champion. You're a world champ. You're one of the best in the world. What separates guys like you from the pack?
It's these days, like today, I'm at the gym. Like, it hasn't even been, what, 7 days?
Nah, bro, you did that shit like yesterday.
My point. Like, I'm back in the gym, no days off. Like, I gotta do something. You know what I mean? I found out a new little armbar lock twist yesterday. If I wouldn't have came into the gym yesterday, I'd have never figured that out. And it's like, that's where you're able to reach new levels. You feel me? It's just little manipulation. A lot of stuff I do is based off of like just maneuvering and moving things certain ways that they're not supposed to go. Right. And that's how you figure out how to really just disassemble somebody pretty quick.
You go in there with the confidence of an undefeated fighter, right? There's almost this like, you can't hurt me. You can't hurt me. I'm going out here to do what I got to do. And you're having fun doing it. Do you feel, is that what you're feeling? Because that's what it seems like from the outside looking in. You look like you're just, it's free. It's like early John Jones, right? Where he was just out here, I don't know, fuck it, spinning elbow. Fuck it, let's go. You know, it seems like you have that, like, fam, what you did, Darian Caldwell, I had to watch that over and over and over again. The McKenzie team, that was nuts. We've never seen. I gave for my show, the Fight Podcast. That was our submission to 2020. By the way, I had to let you know. So salute to you, sir. You won one of our awards, the submission of the year.
Yes,
so do you feel like you're just free flowing when you're doing, just like trying things while you're in the action?
Definitely. Well, a lot of things I've been doing for so long that I guess I kind of tuck them in my pocket and don't use them anymore, because it's like, I already mastered that. But then, like, in a time of action where you're in that situation, it just kind of came back too. You know what I mean? Like, oh, bro, you know what to do here. Like, this is bread and butter. The head's on the side, tuck, boom, boom. You know what I mean? So it's the bread and butters from muscle memory that end up becoming your actual task, like what you're capable of. And then, like, once you're tired, obviously, that's when you work new things. That's when you come up with new things and you're able to add to your arsenal. But yeah, man, the whole process, like even the triangle with Derek Campos, I couldn't redo that. I could never redo that. I fell into that. I don't think anybody could do that. It was a triangle with an armbar. I tried to break the arm because he wasn't gonna tap to an armbar, to a triangle. So put the arm in the armpit and it's gotta go. But
let me ask you this. Fam, you're so fucking well rounded everywhere. What is your favorite? Is it just that you just like doing it all? Or do you have a discipline? Are you more like I love my jiu-jitsu days, or you love I love my striking days?
Nah, I love striking off top. I'm trying to spar every day. Like, spar with a mouthpiece. Like, that's the other crazy part. It gives me a reason, like, don't get hit. Like, you gotta move your head.
Wait. You don't spar with a mauthpiece?
Nah, never.
Hey, you know what? Shit's working. I ain't gonna say shit about it.
My dad get mad too, and he's like, bro, you gotta keep your mouth closed. You gonna get hit. But I mean, it happens sometimes, and then you gotta move them feet. Like,
gotta move them feet
or something, little head movement. But yeah, I don't like to spar with a mouthpiece. I feel like if you spar with a mouthpiece, if we going that hard, then like, all right,
it's a problem.
It's a problem, man. At that point,
it's a problem.
So
yeah,
I don't know. I like to just try to touch people and get the punch there without hurting them real quick. You know what I mean? Because I know if I could touch you and stop a punch from being a full blast right before it hits you, when it's time to like really let that thing go, it's gonna go. So
a la what you just did to Pitbull. It almost felt like one of those moments, like you're just like touching. Oop, there it is, and you ended up catching with the kick. So now here's the thing: you win the Grand Prix. You're the Grand Prix champ. You're the featherweight champ. He has the belt at 55. Same guy you just dusted up in a minute and 50, 40, whatever seconds. We also know don't got that many deals left on the contract. Are we sticking there, doing what we got to do over here with Bellator, or are we taking our talents to South Beach, going out there, giving all those boys the work in the UFC? What are we trying to do, man? What's more enticing at this point in time?
I don't know. See, that's the crazy thing. So contractually, like I got another 3 fights. So like being a champion, it extends my contract 3 fights. Mm-hmm. Problem is we're not staying in the contract if we do stay at the 3 fights that I have. Mm-hmm. Nor do I want to stay at 145 because there's nothing left in the division for me. So that's kind of where we at right now. And yeah, I don't know.
Well,
got to sit down and talk. Got to talk big numbers. If we don't talk big numbers, then I don't know. I still got to cash this ticket real quick. Like, you know what I mean? I'm already kind of big buck chilling. I got to get my life situated, go get my own spot, moved in, situated. But I'm going to need some paper again real soon. Like, if I'm doing moves like that, you know what I mean? So
for real.
We gotta sit down and chop it up. I gotta see what my next moves are financially, mentally, physically. Mm-hmm. Like it's a lot. It's a lot behind the scenes, ahead of the scenes. But all in all, I'm in a good position. So that's fantastic. All that matters.
That's amazing, man. And well, let's talk about this. People love the idea and the thoughts. You went out there and already said that your dream fight would be a Max Holloway, but you felt like the rest of them don't got nothing for you. How do you look at that potential fight with a Max Holloway? Just it is your dream scenario, this dream fight. How would that fight go down stylistically? How do y'all match up?
Well, I know I could take him down, but I wouldn't want to. So I see that as a money fight, man. That's a money fight. Like everybody's gonna buy that. Everybody. Buy that.
I don't understand why the UFC won't just say fuck it and just let's do it. Let's put up belts. It'd be the way to go.
I don't know. I don't think UFC would want to do that. If I got big companies like Snickers, Undefeated, and I got big brand sponsors behind me, Monster, like they're already in cahoots. If I put some big brands, Showtime, Bellator, if we came up with some dumb numbers, I guarantee you we could do something. I promise. I know it. Money talks.
So let's get into it then. Let's get into it, because if we're really looking at it and we're talking about, again, these fights, what is stopping? Because I've already said it. You have all the opportunity and the potential to be the face of the sport. You've talked about big money. You're like, look, I want to get these 20, 30, 40, $50 million paydays. What is it going to take to end up getting it? Because the one thing about it is, and we already talked about the resumes, the McGregor's versus yours. I've already said it. Yours, in my opinion, supersedes that of his. And let's just keep it a bean, okay? You're far more well-rounded than he is. You can go on the ground. You can stand with you. You can wrestle. You have jiu-jitsu. What is the casual fan missing? Why aren't people paying attention? And how can we get that huge payday?
That's a good question. You gotta have the views. You gotta have the hype. You gotta have the people. You know what I mean? You gotta earn that respect. That's just what it is. You gotta earn it. So one fight at a time. You know what I mean? People are starting to see, like, okay, though, like it's 18 and what he just did and what he did to that person and what that person did to that person. Who is this dude? What's going on? So
is the plan to just keep sniping people and they gonna pay attention eventually?
Definitely. That's off top. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna stop doing what I do.
Because don't get it twisted. I peeped the Snickers. I peeped what you was doing. We saw what you were doing with that, man. I looked up. I was like, my man got the Snickers. I was like, he getting that deal. I see him.
Yeah, you got to try big things. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to go outside of the box, then you know what I mean. For the views, man, I would like, yeah, sign the UFC. Like, you're gonna get your normal Monster deal. You're gonna get your Reebok deal. You get your percentages and what you pay, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
got their championships and what sponsors and everything does outside of the cage. You can do your thing. But in Bellator, man, I got the opportunity to really do big things, and that's what I'm trying to do. But like you said, at 26, man, these is prime years. We got to get them higher ups at that sit at that board to get on board with you, boy. If not, man, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's nothing for Showtime and Bellator to make a couple phone calls, make a couple friendships real quick.
Yeah,
And
because they got all the cash too. We
Showtime
can't like
got long term money. That's why Connor went and did the boxing and stuff. You know what I mean? Like Showtime, they OGs in the game. They've been doing this. So
makes sense.
I love to collab with them. We also got CBS on the team. So I mean, we'll see how things play out.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Well, let's transition a little bit to this, because and again we talk about the culture within MMA, right? And you are at a place where it's like you guys are the mecca of black gyms in MMA. All right, you got all the brothers, you know, and if they're not, they've been through their time at some point in time or another. What do we have to do as a community to oh,
Say it again.
there we go. I'm sorry. I said, what do you feel like we got to do as a community to like truly embrace MMA? Like, how do we get MMA as popular as the culture is with boxing?
Man, we just keep doing what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We got to put together things for fighter to protect the fighters more.
Absolutely.
That's a big key. You know what I mean? Like Floyd said, there's gonna be that one person that comes in and takes over the game and really sets a difference in it to be able to do it.
Right.
I think Connor had the opportunity to do it, but dollar signs. That's a good sidetrack. On. he had, you know what I mean? He had the opportunity, but at the same time, he worried about his generations. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, you got we're businessmen at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you're doing that, I mean, that's what it got to be. That's phenomenal, man. Let's talk about this, because I always like having some fun within these. I know you say your pops kicked you off into the game, obviously, but aside from that, man, what really got you into MMA? What fights, what things like that really got you into MMA?
Man, I just love the wars. You know what I mean? Like, being able to leave it all in there and come out as the alpha dog, you know what I mean? That's what it's about when you're in there. It's who wants it the more. Like Rory McDonald, that was one of my favorite fighters when he fought Robbie. When I saw that fight,
classic.
I was like, I'm that guy. Like, I don't care who you are, how tough you think you are. Like, I'm still here in your face. I don't care what mine looks like. Like it's just that heart of a warrior, of a lion. You know what I mean? That was one of my fights. And it's that killer be killed mindset. Like, not a lot of people have that. And that's why, like, Rory's one of my favorite fighters, you know what I mean? Outside of, like, Rampage, obviously the knockout power. I've known him my entire life. That's like my aunt. So,
right.
Obviously Rampage. Then I got to work with Chuck Liddell. That was a blessing, man. That was
wow.
And that was phenomenal. And once I got to actually meet him and, like, meet him one-on-one and actually get to, like, fill him out, type of person he is. He's so genuine, dude. Like,
right.
I got a lot of love for Chuck. That's one of my greatest fighters. Stylistically, I say Anderson Silva. I used to watch him ahead of his time, you know what I mean? And that's where we got a lot of my style from, the head movement, dropping your head. So I picked up a lot of that from him. Man. Yeah, that's
well. How about this? How about currently? Because I know being as free flowing as you are, and you can tell you're a student of the game. You really enjoy what you're doing out there. Who now do you look at that's just like, you know what, that mug's good?
I don't know. I don't know.
He's like me. What do you mean, me?
I like Izzy. Israel Adesanya. He's the man. I like the way he mixes it. He's got the entertainment side, which is so fire. You know what I mean? The way he does all his little, the just everything, like his little dance things, like all that. Who else, man? 145, Max Holloway, obviously. That's the OG triple. He been playing him since day one. Like,
it's when he one of those. If you don't like Max Holloway, you're not a real fight fan. Like,
like if you're hating, if you ever doubt him out of a fight, you're dog water. Like, keep drinking that dog water. Like, he's the man. Honestly, shit. Everybody else, bro. Like, all those first generation guys, they I don't know.
They're really showing out. And one of the dope things is, and we talk about a little bit, black dudes from everywhere are starting to run the sport, and it's showing more and more. It's actually showing, so let me ask you this, man. What's next? What's next for AJ? What's next for AJ Mckee? Man. What's going on?
I don't know. I really don't. I'm gonna stay in the gym, stay active, keep grinding, keep getting stronger, bigger, and we'll see what lies ahead. Hopefully I can get back in there sooner than later, man, because I'm not trying to sit out these prime time years, you know what I mean, youth years. 26, like, we in there right now.
So is your next fight, I hear, like I said, Pitbull, he's like, he want a rematch, but he wants it in Brazil. Are you gonna go ahead and take his chip in Brazil?
Who would willingly go into Brazil and take that fight like that in Brazil? I'm not doing that, bruh. What the fuck I look like? I'm from LA, nigga. Come on, bruh. That's like a trip into a blood neighborhood. What?
Thanks. I'm about to say. Hey, I was looking. I'm like, yo, Brazil, I didn't make sure.
You want me to go to Brazil? My dad's scared of Brazil. I ain't messing with Brazil. What is wrong with you? Let's put it this way. They convinced Bellator to go to Brazil. I'll do it.
Hey, here's the thing. So, but is that the fight we get next? Are you going to go ahead and snatch this man's belt? Like, are you going to chase him to another weight class and beat him up again? Is that what you're going to do to the man? What did he do to you?
He took nothing. He did nothing. He just ducked and avoided me for quite some time. But
he did.
I mean, what does he want me to do? Does he want me to give him the 45-pound belt back, or like, I don't know. I want that 55-pound belt. I'm done with 45. You know what I mean?
So like, you win the belt at 55.
Why can't I take both of them?
So you got that, and that's the unique thing about the tournament, which is crazy because once you win the tournament, you kind of cleaned out the weight class, and that's the one drawback about it for the organization, not the fighter, the organization. I've already cleaned out this weight class. What do I got to do here now? So now you got 55. What challenges in your opinion, does 55 have for you at this point in time?
You got some tough guys. You got a couple young up-and-comers, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You got a couple OG vets. You got jiu-jitsu artists. You got a little bit of everything over there, you know what I mean? Some power wrestlers. You got obviously you got Khabib's brother. You got a lot at 155, you know what I mean? And I feel like coming in at the top of the ranks and letting everything play out the way it does, that's good for me.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. There's so many fresh opportunities up there and honestly great matchups. I cannot wait to see. So this is how we're going to finish up today, bro. Truly appreciate your time. Like I said, I'm out here in LA. I talked to your pops earlier. He gave us the info. I'm going to pop up at the gym, gonna hang out with y'all, man, because I'm right here down the street. I want to ask you this. This is how we're going to finish up with some fun. Kung Fu flicks. Favorite all-time go-to Kung Fu flicks or martial arts, fight film at all. Don't matter.
All together? Shit, Matrix it used to go down in Matrix.
So which one? The first one?
Guns in it. It's got a little bit of guns in it too. When they meet at the top of the temple, you think it was like what, 2?
I think that was 2. That was the second one.
2, yeah.
That was fire. All right, and how about this? I know you already told me about the fight with Rory. You got Rory and your boy. Aside from that fight, what is a fight that we can go out there that you can pinpoint and be like, yo, that there is a fight that people need to pay attention to if you want to be a fan of MMA?
Sheesh.
Here, scratch that. Better. If somebody wants to know who AJ McKee is as a fighter, which fight should they watch?
Man, it was a scrap. Ray Wood. It was a scrap. Me versus Ray Wood. I popped my thumb out in the first. He caught me with a knee, split my eardrum open. I didn't want to be in the fight. You know what I mean? I'm looking across at him, and he was just mad dogging, like he wanted to hurt me. And yeah, I'm like, I don't even want to be in here. And I'm in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit to think while you're in the middle of a fight, right? Like,
yeah.
In here, and old boy across from me looking at me like he want to hurt me. And yeah, that's a fight. You know what I mean? That's the real fight right there. And it's just crazy. Still came out victorious. You know what I mean? You always go back to your habits, what you know. You know what I mean? Wrestling's always been a base. And I know at any given point, I could do what the McKees do at ease. And that's what we're great at is wrestling. You know what I mean? My dad, an OG Pioneer, #1 wrestler. Like, pick anybody up, slam anybody on their head. I got the same takedown. I just don't use it.
Hey, well, that's the beauty of it, man. Like I said, I can't wait to see you. And I feel like we haven't been able to truly see even all of your skills yet, which is one of the crazy things. Well, first of all, because you're finishing everybody within a round now. But we're starting to finally, like I said, I can't wait to continue seeing your development, fam. Bro, it has been a pleasure to watch, honestly, his last 18 fights, and I can't wait to see what else continues coming up. My brother, thank you so much for joining me on the show. Got to do this again sometime, man.
Definitely. Let me know. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, and stay blessed.
Absolutely, man. Much continued success. Everybody, AJ McKee. Yes, sir. All right. There we go, everybody. This was episode 306 of the Greatest Combat Sports and Culture Show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. That was AJ McKee, the best fighter in, honestly, all of Bellator, arguably the best fighter in Bellator history at this point. Not even arguably at this point. He beat the guy that everybody already said was the best fighter in Bellator history. Amazing dude. Great to have him on the show. Can't wait to do that again. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Remember, if you're paying attention to the Fight Podcast, watch us everywhere podcasting is available. Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out at thefightpodcast.com. Check me out at SERG VICENTE. Check us out also at The Fight Podcast. This is episode 306 of The Fight Podcast. Love you guys. I'll see you next time right here.